Hey babes, welcome back. I wanted to do this quick video because I wanted to share this thought with you that I had about boundaries and why so many of us are struggling to set boundaries. So I have been thinking a lot about boundaries. I talk a lot about boundaries as far as health and wellness. And so boundaries aren't a new subject around here. We talk about that a lot. You need them if you're going to be on your wellness journey. But what I'm seeing around me, and even something that I struggled with for a while, is a lot of us really cannot create boundaries, enforce boundaries, or any of that because we really don't know what we want. I have found myself in the last couple months having a lot of conversations with other women about defining what they want. And so I really wanted to encourage you, if you are someone who is struggling with setting boundaries and keeping boundaries, I want you to do two things. Now, one is going to be a little bit easier than the other, or maybe both of them are kind of difficult. I guess it just depends on where you are in life. But the first thing that I want you to do is to really start to think deeply about what you actually want for your life. I want you to think deeply about how you look, how you want to feel, how you want to show up as a parent, how you want to show up as a partner, whether you have a spouse or children or whatever. Still think deeply about these things, who you actually want to be, who you want to be. And for me, I'm a Christian, so who you want to be in Christ, how you want to show up as a Christian. I think a lot of us really lack vision about what we really want our lives to be, or sometimes we had a vision. I think for me, I had a vision of what I thought my life was going to be, what I wanted it to be, but I never revisited that vision and kind of reworked it for where I am and what's going on in my life currently, because sometimes you do have to make adjustments, right? Sometimes life is just, through no fault of your own, things just aren't working out how you initially planned it or how you initially envisioned it. And so sometimes we have to revisit what it is that we actually want for our lives. So that's the first thing that I want you to do. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but one really practical way that I started doing that is, at one point I would get up every morning and I would either journal or I would get on Pinterest. And I know, we're always talking about not being on our phones or not being on screens and stuff in the morning, but I would actually make an exception for this just because I think it's so important. And also I feel like in the morning when you wake up, I feel like that's when for me personally, it's just when I'm a lot clearer, when my ideas are a lot more fresh and more easily flowing, when I can receive inspiration a lot more easily. So I would get on Pinterest and I made like this board with these different sections. So I had one about wellness, one about how I wanted to show up as a parent. It was just these images of, a mom with her kids. I even have a board that I keep in my office that kind of embodies everything that I want for myself. And I know different people have different opinions about vision boards, but for me personally, it's not something that I necessarily do every year, but because for me, my vision board is mostly just about what I want to embody and how I want to show up, not necessarily specific goals. So for me, I don't do it every year. I don't even, now I kind of refresh my little Pinterest board every now and then. But what I found is that by doing that, I was really able to get a visual, because sometimes for some of us, especially if you grew up in a way where you weren't able to see some of the things you want to embody, you didn't have a lot of images or examples of people showing up in the way that you are trying to show up now. Sometimes we just need that. We need that visual representation to remind us, and so that we can kind of feel it in ourselves. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is I really want you to start making better choices when it comes to fulfilling those things, or being able to embody those things. And so you are going to start actively asking yourself every time you are making even the smallest decisions. And it's going to sound or feel crazy at first because you're going to be doing it so frequently, but you're going to start asking yourself, when you're making any decision that's going to impact you right now and going forward, start asking yourself, is this the way that this version of me would show up? So that can be, for example, I have a good example for today. I wanted to eat out for lunch today, but I made that, what is it, like the black eyed pea with the collard greens, that whole bean salad for lunch. I ended up doing that instead of going out to eat because I was just thinking to myself, the me that I want to show up as would just eat this food that I made at home. Right? And it's such a small thing, but those are actually the ways that we start to set boundaries with ourselves. That makes it actually easier for you to set boundaries with yourself, because you're saying that, you know what, the me that I want to be, the me that I want to embody, the me that I want to show up as, this is the choice that she would make. And it also makes decision making so much easier for you. So even when it comes to going out, I think I've said it a couple times on here. If I don't feel it immediately, if it doesn't feel like an immediate yes in my body, and also if it is not conducive to creating the version of myself that I want to create, it is a no. It is a no. And so I've gotten to the point where whatever I feel in my body is the right answer, just because I've trained myself that I can trust myself enough to be able to feel the right answer. So I just want us to start working more on that, because not only is it going to transform your wellness journey, but it's also going to transform your life as a whole. At least that has been my experience. It's going to help you make better choices when it comes to your relationship with yourself, as well as your relationship with other people. So if this is something that you struggle with, if you struggle with boundaries, let me know down in the comments. You can even give me an example of something you struggle with, and let's help each other out and provide some actual practical solutions and practical strategies for setting boundaries. Not just setting boundaries, because a lot of us actually do set boundaries, but we really don't enforce them. So let's start working towards setting boundaries and also enforcing those boundaries. So thank you for watching. I hope this video was really helpful. I hope it gave you a, aha moment and it resonated with you. And I will see you in the next video.